Okay, here we go. Reaction video to Black American culture is dying. Ghetto blacks are to blame. Let's get into it.
Body asked for. I am sick of seeing Black Americans in the media, on social media, in the news, doing crime, walking around next to naked the women, the men perpetuating gang violence, substance abuse. The absolute worst of our community is oversaturating the media, even though they make up a small percentage of all of Black Americans. The decay of our morality within Black communities has been slowly declining over the past 20 years, and no one is talking about it, no one is saying anything about it or trying.
I believe she's right, and it's basically by design by the media. Okay, mainstream media and white supremacy. You have record labels did a deal with private prisons, and the record labels were going to promote artists who basically talk about gang violence, promiscuity, and all types of debauchery. Okay, and they were going to promote it to where? I mean, you get in the suburbs. Where? What is the main focus? Children, all right, who grow up in at-risk homes environments, the ghetto, the Section 8, you know, the affordable housing, those type of places. Okay, that's where it was targeted to go the most because you will brainwash these kids, and they will be uh, going to prison. Okay, where they would be assaulted by other inmates, and they will be damaged to keep doing more crime or even worse crime. And that's how the cycle continues. And you have a lot of they have the help from radio music stations like Hot 97, okay, and other black radio stations that are pushing this type of stuff out. And when you dare talk about it, you're looked upon as you're a square. You're looked upon as you are uh, a sellout. I mean, Chris Rock made a joke about there's a civil war between degenerate blacks and blacks that are decent and want to try to have a decent life in America. The degenerate blacks are the ones in the hood that will rob you, unalive you, and come to your funeral. Okay? The degenerate blacks feel that if you are making progress as a black person and they are not, they have a right to take what you have or try to demonize you as a sellout because you won't fall for their nonsense. You won't fall in line. Okay? That's basically what it is. Okay? You won't worship these degenerate people like R. Kelly, Sean Diddy Combs, African Bombada, who was arrested for numerous charges of abusing young boys. Okay, you will not toe the line of backing people like Nature Boy. Okay, backing the uh, what else? Brother Polite. Okay, this music also, you know, supports all type of philosophies that are degenerate. Okay, and it is, didn't start with the present era. It started like in the days of you got Wu Tang Clan and Nas and all these other people. Okay, and if you go through the hood, you have all these different types of beliefs and cults. All right, that are destroying the black youth. This type of ghetto culture promotes single motherhood. All right, which leaves kids open to sexual abuse. And like I said, if you dare talk about it, you become the problem. You become enemy number one. and then they wonder why you look at them, and I'm a West Indian black, but I root for Black Americans to have things, okay, especially reparations. But that cannot be if you're not willing to fight white supremacy head on and look at what are the tools of white supremacy, of this race war. And I have said this time and time again. The race war been happening. There's no way in hell you're going to be fighting this race war with guns and bullets and bombs. It's not happening. You don't have the numbers. It's not going to work. All right. They're fighting you through music. They're fighting you through all types of entertainment. And they pretty much won, okay, against a lot of blacks who don't really care.
To address it. And if you do, you are often told that you're policing black bodies. If you say black women, stop getting on the internet and in the media, twerking, walking around with little clothes on. People tell you that you're policing bodies, policing black bodies, or it's respectability politics. If you are black and you speak,
pretty much respectability politics, trying to tell your community, like, listen, this is the war that we're facing. We have to stop. We have to cut these people off at the knees, boycott their money, stop listening to their artists. Your respectability politics. It's not about respectability politics. It's about learning what is happening, knowing you have an enemy. Okay. And I'm not talking about all white people. If you're not a racist, this doesn't apply to you. All right. Doesn't apply to you. Okay. Now, these people who want to play respectability politics and say, oh, you're respectability politics, you want to wonder why you can't, your children, your male children can't get jobs because you give them ghetto names. You want to know why your daughter can't get a man because she has multiple baby daddies, or she has a nasty attitude, or she feels she could be a sex worker due to watching Housewives of Atlanta or OnlyFans models getting all this money. And then you wonder why she ends up on a t-shirt. Or the fact that she has bad experiences with black men and feels that white men are her savior, but fails to vet these white men and ends up dating the same type of dude, just in a different bodysuit, and gets hurt or unalived. Because white supremacy is pushing out content that says black men are all super predators. Hillary Clinton. Okay. Or on The View. Okay. Talking about how black men are not this, they're not that. I remember this black woman who said that black men are not this, they're not that. But you date a man who's beneath you and you take the lion's share of the bills. This is what they're putting out there. You don't see other ethnic groups having to really deal with this. If they do, they call it out. They try to push, the tomfoolery away when it comes to serious things. Malcolm X used to say that, other ethnic groups, they don't put the entertainers in front when they have to talk about serious topics. But the black demographic, they always have athletes, singers, entertainers, people who have no experience in dealing with certain topics of political or serious stuff that has to deal with the community. They're in the forefront. They put them in your face. especially when it came to the little issue we had 3 years ago. All right. Unfortunately, you know, black people in this country, they're going to be politically extinct. They will be politically extinct. They don't take the war of white supremacy that white supremacy has waged against them for a long time seriously. When it comes to illegal immigration, when it comes to the fact that you have, I mean, you have people, black people are pets when it comes to the political spectrum. Pets. You see it with Candace Owens. You see it with, and you even see with, Indians thought it was cool. Remember Vivek? He thought it was cool to, mock black people until Ann Coulter came from and said, I won't vote for you because you're Indian. White supremacy, boom, right in his face. Then goes on Peter Beth David to cry about it. This is a serious war. But blacks are not taking it seriously. Instead, they just want to lay down and not ruffle any feathers and just be thankful about it, especially when it comes to Biden. They don't care. Or Trump. They don't care if these two people don't care about you. They don't care. They fall for the lie. Trump thinks because he had a mug shot, he's down with black people. Do you know what that says? Black people are criminals. I got charged with being a criminal. Hey, we're in the same boat together. That's insulting. And you have ghetto blacks that think that's cool. Biden tells you, you don't vote for me, you ain't black. And blacks on the left are pretty okay with that. It's just plantations. And who do they promote to promote this? They have ghetto blacks on the left. Democrats. As well as the Republicans. I see them as a different type of ghetto. They're just like, they're the house Negroes. Stephen from Django. Remember when the incident happened 3 years ago? And a medical Navy officer was talking. He was on the Trump side, Republican, talking about mom, and pop. You don't have to talk to black people like that. But that's how it's gotten. That the ball has been dropped so many times that white people, racist whites, feel they could talk to you any type of way. And you don't fight back against it.
Speak your piece on what we're seeing in the media. If you don't like seeing the low morality that is often portrayed about the black community in the media, from the trap music to the black women twerking in music videos and all over social media, the Sukihanas and the Sexy Reds of the world. If you are black and you take issue with it and you talk about it, you are usually called bourgeois, sadiddy, uppity, it's respectability politics, you're policing black bodies and the like. And it's like, no, I'm black too. And as such, this being my ethnic culture as well, I have a right to have something to say about what I'm seeing going on. Your average black American is a middle class, working class, blue collar Jane and Joe. The ghetto subculture, black ghetto subculture that we see often portrayed and over inundated and oversaturating the media, those Black Americans make up a tiny, tiny percentage of Black Americans as a whole. But somehow they're in the media, overcompensating in the media, oversaturating the media. I know I don't just speak for myself when I say that I'm sick of seeing it, that it's gross, that it is destroying what Black culture actually is. It's co-opting Black culture as a whole and making it seem as though all of Black culture is ghetto subculture. I'm not the only Black American who takes issue with it. Because like I said, majority of Black America is middle class, not in the ghettos, not out here perpetuating gang violence, promiscuity, and everything else. And I don't care if you claim it's respectability politics. I guess so. So be it. Because this is gross. It's getting really gross out here how blatantly disrespectful and low class we're acting on social media.
Dave Chappelle had also a joke years ago where he said a hoe's uniform, where women wanted to dress like hoes, but not, be okay the reputation of being one. You want to dress like a hoe, you're going to have the reputation as one. Simple as that. And the joke went like this: oh, because I dress like a hoe, I'm not a hoe. It's just like dressing like a cop, and people get mad when people come up to you and think you're a cop. No. There's no modesty. Okay? Black women thinking they could be sex workers, and it's okay. Dress like sex workers, be on IG half naked, and think they should get respect. No. Be on OnlyFans and think you should be respected. No. They get mad when they lose jobs because you're on OnlyFans. You work with kids. No. That doesn't work that way. That is not how things work. But this is white supremacy. Comes to the music industry, I could say small hat supremacy, but that's a different topic for a different day. But this is how it's going down. And you have people, Black people, who want to shame you for that. And it's politically funded too. Okay, it gets to a point where you have Democrats wanting Black women to be okay having abortions. Okay. Sure, go ahead, have abortions. It's okay. But we all know who started Planned Parenthood, Margaret Sanger, a person that idolized Hitler. This is what's going on. When we tell Black people about it, it's their body, their choice. You made your choice to spread your legs, and you have to take responsibility. But you can't tell this in, today without some sort of backlash, because it feels like you're policing my body. It's not your body anymore when you have children. See, the thing is now it's become that the dangerous place for a Black baby is in the Black womb of a Black woman. They had a rapper singing about having an abortion. That's how it got with white supremacy. Singing about abortion, bragging about it.
And in the media, on the internet, on TV, and you can claim that this is someone else's set of moral standards, but no, it isn't. It isn't. Look at Black America in the 50s, in the 60s. Our moral standards back then drastically different from what we have today, or what we're convincing ourselves is a moral standard today. Every racial group on the face of the planet has their own ghetto subculture within their respective racial and ethnic groups. This is the case for everybody, everywhere. White people, Asian people, Mexican people, you name it. The difference is that those racial groups and those ethnic groups do not allow their ghetto subculture to co-opt the entire culture as a whole.
Thank you. Poor white trash. You don't see them taking over all, white people putting poor, the PWTs all over mainstream media. But for black people, the ghetto parts of their community is put on the center stage. The rap music is played in South Korean clubs in South Korea. Then you got black women over there getting mad when they're not loud in these clubs in South Korea. Oh my gosh, you're racist. That's my music. Your music is the reason why they don't want you there. And you got black people saying that hip hop has, helped people around the world. No, it hasn't. It just helped people to hate you more. They may like the music, but they don't want to be black. They don't want to have black skin because they know what you stand for. There's a lot with the agenda with this type of music. A lot. The brainwashing. To dumb down the masses. To let the N-word fly out of non-black musicians' mouths. That's another thing too. And nobody's checking these people. Because it's okay. And the use of the N-word has definitely degraded blacks. Now I understand Nigga is different from Nigger, but it's still no. I don't even use the word.
And to represent the entire culture as a whole. They don't allow it. Everybody else within that respective ethnic group or cultural group or racial group has a right to say how they want to see themselves represented in the media, what they want to see and what they don't want to see, who gets to speak for them and who does not. Except for when you're a Black American and you have something to say about the way that you see Black Americans being portrayed in the media and you have a critique for your peers. You can't do it because it's respectability politics if you attempt to do it. Or you're judging your peers by a set of moral standards that somebody else created, which is a farce. From the Reconstruction era down through the 60s, Black Americans had their own set of moral standards and social protocols that we adhered to.
Yes, and it wasn't polygamy. Okay? A lot of black men, and you have some black women that want to be into polyandry and polygamy. Polygamy is basically men having multiple wives. Polyandry is women having multiple husbands. Okay? And both of them are harmful for the black community. Both of them. Okay? It causes nothing but jealousy and strife among the women and the men. Children born out of this are not loved properly. And this starts strife. Okay? Back in the day when people practiced polygamy in ancient times, this is how wars started. And also in medieval times. All right? It's not good. 50s and 60s, black people had a lot of, there was morals and those things took over. And the blacks who wanted to live loose and free, they were shunned by society. They were cut off because the family didn't want to put up with that foolishness. They didn't want to put up with their name being dragged in the mud. They had the choice, shape up or get out. You couldn't play having multiple baby mama time. You couldn't play that. You couldn't play being a single mother. All right. In the 50s, you definitely had to watch yourself on who you married. Of course, they will say this is respectability politics. You're corny, and then you wonder why black people get themselves together and leave and go to the suburbs because they don't want to deal with the toxicity. They rather put up with the racism in the suburbs than put up with the toxicity of the hood or neighborhood that's just going to crap because more of the ghetto mentality is taking over. Women refusing to raise their kids and then cry when their kids get gunned down by police officers. Their kids have mental health issues, and instead of getting them checked out, you decide to placate their feelings, and then you cry and scream police brutality when your child wants to run around with a knife at a police officer, and the police officer thinks about his home, his family, and he puts that person in the ground. And talk some nonsense about defund the police.
Grannies, ask your great grannies, they'll tell you. I have had just about enough of seeing black culture being drugged through the muck by other black Americans who are perverting it and turning black culture, something that is beautiful, into something perverse. Showing their ass on the internet all the time. The men are constantly rapping and talking about gang violence. Our children are uneducated and stupid. We've created a cultural standard of promiscuity and single motherhood. And when a black American goes to critique and judge our peers, our fellow black Americans, and critique the condition of our neighborhoods today, they're shut down. That's respectability politics. You're policing black Americans. If that's what it is, so be it.
That's it. Then while you have this single mom song, women want to get mad. But it's true. The black ghetto community has become a matriarchy. All black communities aren't like this. You have some very affluent, rich black communities, but they have standards. Anybody can't just really move in there. That's the thing. And you got and people mad when you tell the truth. But what are you going to do? You want to sit there and just stick your head in the sand and nothing is going wrong? The economy is slowly going to tank. All right. And only a few black people see what's about to happen. Food is about to be scarce. Electricity is about to go out. There's going to be a shutdown. And there are some white supremacists and some migrants that are looking to take advantage of that situation to bring back slavery. Okay? And a lot of black people are not paying attention. This ghetto black culture is going to have a lot of people at a disadvantage. Because when the cops are not around to help you, you only got yourselves to band together and to fight off white supremacy. And unfortunately, you have some among you, the ghetto blacks, that don't care. They want to find this opportunity to rob a house, to find that square, rob his house, take advantage of his daughters, unalive his sons, because they don't like the fact that they don't hang out with them. They don't like the fact that they can't influence them with their ghetto behavior. You have a lot of ghetto blacks that are itching to harm blacks who are decent in life. That's how it's going down. And these Klan members, and no, they did not wear white hoods. They're behind badges. They are lawyers. They're doctors. They could be your neighbors. And they are looking to walk in their demonic ancestors' footsteps because they are tired of having to deal with being civilized among blacks, among people they want to hate, not because they were taught it, they choose it. This is what's going down. All right? This is what's about to go down. All these Democrats and liberals who are pushing and saying for acceptance with ghetto black culture, they're going to be living in their nice gated communities with their high-paid security guards to fend off what's coming. And black people are not prepared for what's coming. They are not. It's going to be like The Walking Dead around here. That's all I got for now. And that's about it. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Tell me what you think. Do you think that she's right? Or she's selling out? Let me know. Peace.